Namaskar everyone and welcome to Mehfil Guru Shishya Parampara. It's such an exciting moment for me. I can't tell you honestly. Since yesterday, we have started the special celebration of my Guruji Pandit Kanan's 100th birthday, and that is tomorrow. Yesterday, we had a legend of Kirana Gharana, Ustad Mashkur Ali Khan, and today I was so much looking forward to it because you can't believe we have today with us the living legend, one and only legend from Agra Gharana, Pandit Vijay Kichlu. And Vijay
Namaskar.
uncle is
Such a
everybody.
pleasure to you.
Thank you, Uncle Pranam.
Namaskar. Thank you so much for having me and
It
talk
is
about Western art.
it is such an honor to have you on Kalakar's platform. I am actually struggling to hold my tears, to be honest, because I have met Vijay uncle when I was only 7 years old. And since that time, the love and encouragement I have received from him, maybe that is one of the reasons that whatever I can sing today is I am doing it. It's all because of uncle's blessings and his encouragement, or acha gao, or gao. So I am really over the moon. I'm so blessed to have him with us. And it's an absolute pleasure.
It is such a pleasure to participate in this program, talk to you and talk to others. I'm really thrilled.
Thank you, Uncle. I have my panel members with me today, Dr. Sangyukta Ghosh, Dr. Imtiaz Ahmed.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, Vijay ji. It's a huge honor. It's a huge privilege to have you on Kalakar platform, especially for the 100th birth anniversary week. We are eagerly waiting to hear everything that you have to say. Whatever little you can sing, that would be a blessing as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. Uncle, please bataiye your first interaction with my Guruji and Guruma and how you started Sangeet Research Academy.
Well, as far as Sangeet Research Academy is concerned, it was a project which I prepared for ITC. ITC asked me to create an institution. And when I asked them what kind of an institution it should be, the only direction that was given to me by the then chairman of ITC, Mr. Ajit Aksa, was that it should be the institution of its only kind in the entire country. That was the only direction. He didn't know what kind of institution was. So I tried to base it on institutionalizing the Guru Shishya Parampara, which is the main foundation of our Vidya. So I traveled all over the country, collected the greatest of gurus, living gurus, present gurus, and the best pupils that I could also collect from the country. They were all put together in this institution, and it had, I think, 8 gurus of different gharanas, the most learned musicians, and the entire experience which I had for 24 years was absolutely unparalleled and the best time of my life which I spent.
Wow. I think we have Mr. Viram Jasani as well joining us. Welcome, Viramji. Can you hear all of us clearly? Well, I will continue talking to Uncle. Uncle, as you said, it was the best time of your life. I consider it's the best time of my life too. Because that's where I was brought up in Guruji's house, had your blessings, your teaching. So every single day,
Hi, can you hear me?
Sangyukta, Imtiaz, would you like to ask something? Actually, Vijay uncle has got loads of stories about Guruji to tell us. Uncle, what is the most most memorable story that you can remember for us today about Kanan Sahib and my Guruma?
I think it would be a good start.
I'm sure there are so many.
long, long association with him.
Ji.
Kanan there was a most extraordinary personality. He was a linguist in his own way, knowing 3 or 4 languages: Telugu, English, Hindi, Bangla, but uh, a kind of a person who could not speak very fluently in any language. So his 3 or 4 sentences used to have a mix of 2 or 3 languages.
Mhm.
So it was a very interesting, very pleasant, very charming experience to talk to Karan Sahib and to be with him. And my pleasure was that I had a long, long association with him, starting from early 50s until he was alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent.
It's,
I mean,
I'm actually so emotional. I don't know whether I can even talk much. Imtiaz da, you and
yeah,
Shangita
I
would
think,
have probably have to run the show.
I think we're gonna
I'm
ask you
really
a lot of.
emotional today.
Can I call you Vijay Uncle? I mean, I don't know, or Vijay Ji. I don't
Yes,
know how
certainly,
you.
most
Of course,
certainly.
call him uncle. He's everybody's uncle.
Okay, so Vijay Uncle, when you said that you started this project from ITC, they approached you and gave you almost like a blank check, saying, you do it on your own way, and it must be very thrilling experience from that point of view. And also, I just want to know, because you told us that you had this wonderful experience for such a long period of time, but did you have that all in your mind from the beginning, or it just grow gradually? And also, how did you choose those 8 maestros who would be actually forming, so representing different gharanas? Did you have any criteria in your mind, or?
You see, as I said, the only direction which I received from ITC,
Yeah.
who were the patrons, that
Yes.
it should be an institution of its only kind,
Yeah.
and it should render a service which no other institution is rendering in the entire country. So it was a tall order for me,
Mm.
and I had to think hard first, and then I decided that the only way I think I can serve this direction is
Yeah.
by going around the country, collecting the greatest vidwans of each gharana,
Yeah.
because what we needed was to put together the Guru Shishya tradition, institutionalize it.
Mhm.
So I had to, collect the greatest vidwans from the country belonging to different gharanas, which I was fortunate to get. And then I had the best students
Mhm.
also collecting from all over the country, and attached students to each gharana, suiting their music to the guru that I was giving them.
Mhm.
So the concept was there, the attempt was honest,
Yeah.
everybody cooperated, everybody helped. So some results were obtained. I can't say that they were the very best results, and this is the best that was done in the country. But something was done, and I was satisfied that at least we moved in some direction, and some good results were obtained.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a fantastic institution, and this is your legacy, and and obviously, as you said, this is the first time anyone had institutionalized the Guru Shishya Parampara. That's it. It says it all. I mean, in that sense, um, and now, I mean, even the infrastructure, like the bungalows or the auditorium or the main building, everything you kind of planned, or
No, I was very fortunate in this respect. There was a ready-made campus,
Aha.
well, spread over, I would say, about 8 to 10 acres, having beautiful bungalows, and there was a main building which had a huge auditorium also.
Yeah.
So everything was ready made by God's grace, and
Oh,
the institution could be established, which was exclusive, private, very
yes.
much sort of confined, and which provided the perfect environment where
Yes.
such an institution could be created, totally separate from the main hubbub of the
Yeah.
city and the
Yeah.
traffic and this and that.
Yes.
Beautiful campus in every respect.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful indeed. Yes. Yes. Fantastic. Um, yeah.
I
I have
have
more
some.
questions, but yeah.
Sorry, let yeah, you will get the opportunity, Imtiaz da. I
Yeah.
have
Thank
got
you.
our audience is saying eagerly waiting. Pandit Kichlu live. I can't believe. Yes, I know. This is for all of us. It's like creating a history. And now there is more because I have already spoken to Uncle and I said,
So,
Uncle, please, you have to sing something for us. Whatever little you can,
Uncle,
I want to hear that, Uncle. Please, आपको जो भी अच्छा लगे, हम सुनना चाहते हैं. Whatever you feel like.
I can certainly sing for you, but you can well notice that I have no
Doesn't
voice.
matter.
My voice
Doesn't matter,
absolutely
Uncle.
hoarse.
Doesn't matter. Honestly, this is a history that you are with us, so it doesn't matter. Please.
Eh,
sorry, the sound is so
eh,
bad. It's cracking up. I can't.
na, eh, re, no, na, पायल बोरी बाजे जनन जनन पायल बोरी बाजे जनन जनन अति डर पावे जिया पायल बोरी बाजे जनन जनन अति डर पावे जिया पायल मोरी बाजे. You can see I have a completely hoarse voice. I can't
Doesn't matter,
sing.
Uncle. It gives me goosebumps because I
Yes.
have been listening to this Payal Mori Baje since I don't know. The first time I heard Uncle's performing, I think it was at Sangeet Research Academy's one of the concert, and I do remember Uncle perform this Payal Mori Baje Jhanana Jhanana. And that was one of his famous compositions
Yes,
that Uncle used to sing. Wow,
it was
Fantastic.
that's
very,
really
very, a very sort of favorite raga for me
mm,
to render, and I was very fond of Nand and singing it at various places.
Ji.
This beautiful composition, which I can't render properly, but lovely
Thank you,
composition.
Uncle. I can't thank you enough. Shangjukta, would you like to ask something? Because after
Yeah,
that,
I
I
mean,
think we have to learn a lot about Agra Gharana from Uncle today.
sure. I mean, that's there. My first instinct would be to ask you your meeting with Kanan Saab. Anything that that is beyond the stage, your backstage talks with Kanan Saab. Anything in particular that he has shared with you regarding Guru Parampara and the fact that you institutionalized it. Is there something that is very special that you remember that Kanan Sahib had said to you, or any conversation that is relating to Guru Shishya Parampara with you?
Well, let me tell you, my association with Kanan Sahab
Mm.
was very prolonged. It was in early 50s that I met him, and he was the most dedicated, passionate teacher, guru, master, and but I would say uh, out of 24 hours, except for 8 or 10 hours that he used to spend on sleeping and eating, the rest of the time he spent teaching students. Teaching it was his passion. It was amazing, how he used to start teaching, getting students at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then up to 1 o'clock. Then he would take 3 hours off for lunch and his afternoon sleep, and then again from evening 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock continuous. So his entire day was more or less spent in teaching students. It was such a great passion for him.
Mhm.
I have never seen anyone such a ferocious teacher, master. And Kanan Sahib was, apart from a wonderful teacher, he was a wonderful human being, golden hearted, absolutely clean, and very, very helpful to the entire humanity. Whenever, and wherever he heard that somebody needed help, he would just leave and run and go there, help him, monetarily, physically, emotionally, whatever kind of help was needed. He was really a wonderful human being. And I consider myself very fortunate to have had such a prolonged, close relationship with him, emotional bond with him, and association with him in many directions.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, this is the best that we can hear, on a 100th celebration, as well as you will know from Chandraji that we have been hosting under Kalakar Forum this whole Guru Shishya Parampara sessions for a very long period of time. To culminate like this with a person like you here and to reminisce those moments with Kanan Sahib is extremely special for us and indeed a great privilege on this particular forum.
We also talk
There are always
about,
technical talks. Yeah, sorry.
let me talk about his music a little bit.
Mm,
We all know that Kanan Sahib was South Indian.
mm,
He belonged to Andhra Pradesh.
yeah.
Telugu was his language, but there was nothing South Indian in him.
Okay.
His music was perfect in the sense that what is first of all needed in a student, in a singer, in a musician is clean, clear akar. And being a South Indian music, Carnatic music, it has a different culture. And long, prolonged, clear, clean note with perfect akar is not how South Indian music is taught or practiced. But Kanan Sahab's akar was perhaps one of the best that one could hear in the entire fraternity. And perfect sapat, clean. In fact, I would go to the extent of saying that in my memory, there were only two musicians at that time who had perfect akar done. One was Bhimsen Joshi, the other was Karan Sahib.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So it was that class of music that he practiced
Yeah. Very
and
nice.
taught.
Yeah, Uncle, I'm going to ask one story that I heard about Kananji. Is that I'm pretty sure you probably know he wanted to be a cricketer. Am I right? In his young.
Well, surprisingly, I did play a cricket match with him where Kanan Sahab played and hit a few strokes, which established that he had played cricket in his lifetime. So
Okay.
he was certainly a sportsman also. He played cricket, liked cricket, but to what extent he had played in his earlier days, what class of a cricketer he was, difficult to say. But he was very fond of it.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Certainly, he did choose the right profession in the end. There is no doubt about it. But here we go.
there are few comments. I'm so sorry. As you can all see that I just couldn't control myself because it's just such an emotional moment for me. Sabir Hussain Khan saying Namaskar. Shilpi Ravi, obviously, I know that you have been waiting and it's unbelievable moment. Sabir says, Adab uncle. Pranab Akhanda, we are feeling blessed listening Pandit Vijay sir. Rita Ghosh is saying, feeling blessed. Sitkar Gupta, this is really historical. Shantanu Goswami, legend. Yes, indeed he
Well,
is.
my
Deepak Chandra
blessings to
Ghosh,
everyone and good wishes.
thank you, uncle. Deepak Chandra Ghosh, চমৎকার আয়োজন. কালী কৃষ্ণ কাকু, দেবাশিস মিশ্রা, দাদা খান জিনা. It's honestly, it's just an unbelievable moment for me. Uncle, please tell us about your gharana, Agra gharana, and the specialties of Agra gharana. Please, if you could just teach us all. I'm sure the audience would love to hear it from you.
Well, let me first start by explaining that Agra Gharana, the Gaiki of Agra Gharana, is the best example of a kind of a link between Dhrupad and Khyal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Khyal is a recent Gaiki, as you know, much more recent than the Dhrupad Gaiki that we had. And Agra Gharana, in its Gaiki, has the maximum elements of Dhrupad Gaiki. In fact, all Khyal singers today, out of all gharanas, Agra Gharana is the only gharana which has retained the true Anapchari after the Dhrupad tradition. All other Khyal gharanas today, they just begin with compositions and then elaboration. But the Alapchari, which is the essence of Dhrupad, that is only practiced by Agra Gharana musicians. And Agra Gharana is the only Gaiki which has retained it. Because Agra, as I said, is a link between Khyal and Dhrupad. The history of Agra Gharana is also such. Agra Gharana is one of the oldest gharanas of Dhrupad. If you take the longevity of a gharana, Agra Gharana is even more ancient than Gwalior Gharana. But we call Gwalior Gharana the parent Gharana for Khyal only because we are considering Khyal. But Agra Gharana was a Dhrupad Gharana and historically goes much beyond or much earlier than even Gwalior Gharana today. And Agra, as I say, is the link between Dhrupad and Khyal as it is practiced today.
Right.
So when you say it's the link between Dhrupad and Khyal, are you also talking about the tradition of the gharana as it grew in the place of Agra, or is it also about the people who continued the tradition of the Agra? So I'm just trying to understand the importance of Agra here as a musical hub, as a practicing tradition. Gharana. When you say it is the link, what is the link?
Let me give you a historical link an historical event which will explain what I am trying to say. As I said, Agra is the oldest Drupad Gharana. You take any Gharana history chronologically. But there was a time, a period in the late 19th or rather 18th century, one young boy who was learning Drupad belonging to Agra Gharana and the traditional family of Agra musicians. He ran away to Gwalior to learn Khyal because he had a hoarse voice. His name was Gagge Khudabakhsh. He was called Gagge because Gagge means having a hoarse voice. So he went to Gwalior and there he perfected his voice production, voice, and also learned Khyal. So he was a kind of a link between the traditional Drupad Gaiki of Agra Gharana and the Khyal Gaiki which he learned from Gwalior musicians. Nathan Peer Baksh, Ustad Nathan Peer Baksh, that time. So Agra Gharana's history, if you take it from the point of view of longevity, goes even beyond Gwalior Gharana because it was a Drupad Gharana. If we are considering Khyal Gaik, then of course Gwalior is considered the parent and the oldest Khyal Gharana today. And Agra musicians also adopted Khyal Gaiki from the Gwalior Gharana.
Gotcha. Excellent. And then, Uncle, I've got a question. I mean,
thank you for the story.
Yeah, it's a fantastic story there. In terms of your musical journey, your own musical journey, how did it start? I mean, how did you learn from how young have you been singing and, how you came into music?
I do not belong to a musician's family. My father was a great educationist, and my mother was a normal housewife, but having a most amazing voice, even for classical music. She used to sing classical music without knowing what she's singing. So my father put me on to the sort of music training of Khyal Gaiki when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
I learned from a guru, a teacher who used to come from Delhi. My father was an educationist posted at Bulandshahr in Aligarh at that time. And he used to come and teach me. Then after that, both me and my younger brother were very fortunate to accidentally meet the Dagar brothers, the Bade Dagar brothers, Ustad Muinuddin Khan, Ustad Aminuddin Khan. And we met them when they were sort of practicing cricket in their lawn. And we were basically sportsmen. Our father was a distinguished sportsman at the national level. So we had also picked up all sports. My brother Ravi was an outstanding sportsman. And I was also very keen, and we both played for our state UP cricket in Ranji Trophy and badminton also at the state level. I was my Allahabad University badminton captain. And in the inter-university tournament 1 year in 1982. I met my younger brother in the finals of the inter-university tournament. I am playing Vijay Kichlu playing against Ravi Kichlu in the final decided between Banaras University and Allahabad University. So that is our history. And but music was our passion, our life, and therefore whatever we did, we both studied, took master's degree. He from Banaras University, I from Allahabad University, and academics we also never sacrificed for anything. But we were passionate sportsmen, and we used to take sport very seriously in our life.
Mm.
Mm.
That brings the obvious question, Uncle, is that Kichlu brothers, Kichlu brothers music, I mean like Dagor brothers, did you actually plan that way, that ever, that we Kichlu brothers would do something like that?
No, it was, I would say, accidental. No, as I mentioned earlier, I was the only one who received formal training in classical music from the age of 5 years.
Okay.
And then I taught Ravi, and Ravi had such amazing talent that he picked up music like anybody, sort of giving the impression as if he and we belong to a musician's family for generations, that we had picked up music as a profession.
Yes.
Which we did.
Yeah. What a fantastic story. Thank you, Uncle. I mean,
It is. As a student, Uncle, I have a question. I actually want to learn that the riyaz, that Kirana Gharana, the way Guruji taught us or Guruma taught us, it's a riyaz process. What is the riyaz process specially for Agra Gharana? How would your students, how do you guide them to prepare their voice to perform Agra Gharana? Because that's a different style of singing, isn't it?
Absolutely. You see, Agra's voice culture is entirely different. And even when we adopt a gaiki, now it is the kriyas that we cultivate from that gaiki. So Agra Gharana's very peculiarity or speciality, as you were asking me earlier, is that all the kriyas or the most important kriyas of Agra Gharana Gaiki are adopted from Drupad Gaiki. They are not the Kirana Gharana sort of voice production, Kirana Gharana kriyas. Which are essentially what we know as Khayal Gaiki today. That is a very distinct difference, first of all. Secondly, because Agra Gharana, as I said, is a link between Drupad and Khayal, the most important character of Agra Gharana Gaiki is the Laikari. Laikari, which Agra Gharana has mostly derived from the Dhamar Ang. The Bol Tans, the Bol Banao is all picked up from Dhamar. And the Agra Gharana's special treatment is of Laikari. apart from Kriyas. You see, this uh, uh, that is the reason why it is known as masculine Gayaki.
Yes.
The gamak
Mm.
you sing from your chati, from
Mm.
chest, not from throat.
Mm.
So chest singing, it's all derived from Drupad.
Yeah.
That is why Agra Gharana is known as a masculine Gayaki, suitable to males and not
Yes.
females.
Yes. Yeah. Mm.
Very
But
interesting.
know
but
that.
if I want to say learn Agra Gharana Gaiki style, do I need to prepare my voice? Do I need to do a particular style riyaz to prepare myself to sing Agra Gharana, or what would you suggest?
No, the masculinity of Agra Gharana has to be eliminated. When you pick up Agra Gayaki, you
Mm.
pick up all the characteristics except its masculinity. And the first kriya of masculinity is Gamak,
Gamak. Yeah.
which is the Drupad kriya.
Mm.
Drupad Ang. So in soft presentation or in heavy presentation, the Gamak has to be eliminated when females are singing and adopting Agra.
Mm.
See, Bol Banao is basically kriya of Thumri also.
Ji.
In also you are Bol Banao and Bol Baat and Bol Banao.
Mm.
Mm.
It's the same kriya in Agra Gayaki, but with a different voice production. That's all.
Mm.
You see, Shringar, the kind of Shringar that Thumri needs is not needed in Agra Gharana Bol Banao.
Mm.
Necessarily. I'm not saying that there is no uh, bariki or delicacy in Agra Gharana Bol Banao. Bol Banao character of the guy. There is very, very much the delicacy of Bol Banao is very much present there, but it's a different kind of delicacy.
Mm.
It doesn't have the shakar of uh, Tumri.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Bol Banao is also a Tumriyang.
Mm.
It's a Dhamarang, as well as there is one uh, roop, one shape which is adopted from Dhamar, the other adopted from Tumri.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice.
Wow. Shangyukta, any questions?
Yeah, I've been hearing about this. What is it called? A chota khayal and a bara khayal. The two variations in
Yeah.
khayal. Is this also very distinctive of the Agra Gharana, or is it all very? What is the distinction here for the Agra Gharana to between these two strands of khayal? Are they the two strands that we are talking of? How
In fact, Chota Khayal and Bada Khayal you will adopt in any Gaiki.
yeah.
See, any Gaiki, any Khayal Gaiki today, the tradition is that you start with a Vilambit, what we call Bada Khayal, and then conclude it finally with a Chota Khayal, Bandish, and then Tan, etc. Because it develops to the climax, increasing the tempo, the rhythm, and everything from slow tempo. You will be very surprised to learn that this characteristic of our Gayaki, singing in Bilambit, absolute Bilambit, or Ati Bilambit. You see, for example, Amir Khan Sahab's Gaiki is Ati Beloved, where the note is extended to its maximum well extent. And in our Khayal Gaiki, whether it is Gwalior Gharana or Agra Gharana or any Gharana, well, the Vilambit tempo, the Vilambit character of the Gaiki is always present. In some, Vilambit is a little more extended or prolonged than other well, Gharanas, but that character is there of extending the note. जितना नोट का हम विस्तार करेंगे एक नोट का, वो ही हम अच्छी गायकी मानते हैं, वही अच्छी गायकी का एक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है या सिम्टम, कि हम एक नोट स्टेडी स्वर में कितना एक्सटेंड कर सकते हैं। ये विलंबित जो अवस्था है हमारे स्वर की, ये सिर्फ हमारे ही म्यूजिक में है, दुनिया के और किसी म्यूजिक में ये विलंबित अवस्था नहीं है स्वर की। ये आधा मिनट 40-40 सेकंड तक हम एक एक नोट को एक्सटेंड करते हैं। ये बड़ी एक इम्पोर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है। और दूसरे ये कनेक्टेड है एक इंसान के टेम्परामेंट से। विलंबित एंड एक्सटेंडेड नोट मीन्स स्पिरिचुअलिटी, शांति, क्योंकि शांति एक हम जैसे योगा में शांति प्राणायाम से आती है। प्राणायाम का मतलब ये है ब्रीदिंग कंट्रोल जो है हम उसको एक्सटेंड करते हैं। इसी तरह से हम ये म्यूजिक में जो हमारी ये विलंबित की अवस्था है, जो कैरेक्टर है, ये प्राणायाम से ही लिया गया। और दिस मीन्स ट्रैंक्विलिटी, पीस। तो विलंबित बड़ा हमारा इफेक्टिव पीसफुल गायकी होती है जिसमें कोई किसी किस्म की चंचलता नहीं है। फिर धीरे धीरे हम अपना टेम्पो बढ़ाते हैं, छोटे ख्याल में आते हैं, तानों में आते हैं, लय बढ़ाते हैं। तो ये फिर एक एक्सटेंशन है गायकी। लेकिन ये विलंबित अवस्था है, ये सिर्फ इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक की ही स्पेशलिटी। And this has been derived from the spirituality that we seek through this music.
Gosh, so much to learn, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the very slight tweak I have here is, Vijayji, do you feel that this is the reason why the Guru Shishya Parampara is so important? Because of the way you described, the tranquility, the Vilambit tradition that is very intrinsic in Indian music. Do you feel that this is exactly where the Guru Shishya Parampara makes a lot of difference? Because it's also about style, it's also about disciplining the Shishya into a certain way of learning. So I'm just very curious if this is what makes the connection even stronger. Just a small idea. I don't know whether you have to say anything.
It is not only a question of making it stronger, but it is the only tradition in which you can really learn our Vidya. देखिए, हम इस विद्या का एक बड़ा कैजुअल रूप भी ग्रहण कर सकते हैं, जो हम क्लासरूम से करते हैं। जो टीचर और स्टूडेंट एक क्लासरूम में बैठ के, मास्टर आया, उसने 2 घंटे सिखाया और हमने वो किया, फिर दूसरे दिन तो क्लासरूम से भी सीखा जाता है, लेकिन दोनों के कैरेक्टर में बड़ा डिफरेंस है। एक में स्पिरिचुअलिटी है, एक में शेयर टेक्निकलिटी है। हम जो क्लासरूम टीचर है उससे टेक्निकलिटी ही अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं और कुछ नहीं अडॉप्ट कर सकते। तो गुरु शिष्य परंपरा जो रिलेशनशिप है वो तो एक स्पिरिचुअल रिलेशनशिप। तो ये, बल्कि ये भी मैं कहूंगा कि अब गुरु शिष्य परंपरा जो है जिसको हम मानते हैं और कहते हैं, वो सिर्फ शायद हमारे संगीत के क्षेत्र में ही रह गई है और किसी क्षेत्र में गुरु शिष्य परंपरा इन द रियल सेंस नहीं है। संगीत में अभी भी जो एक विद्यार्थी है वो जाता है गुरु के घर, जाके रहता है, चाहे महीनों सालों रहे, चाहे सवेरे से शाम तक रहे, लेकिन जब तक गुरु का एक साया उसके ऊपर, एक्सटेंडेड साया, 1-2 घंटे का नहीं, पूरे दिन का भी पड़े, अगर वो भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज करके लिया करा जाए, तो ये विद्या ग्रहण करने का वही तरीका है। नहीं तो असली तरीका तो गुरु शिष्य परंपरा यही है कि शिष्य जो है गुरु के छत्र छाया में रहता है, उसके साथ उसकी सेवा करता है और तब ये विद्या ग्रहण करता है।
So important.
Yeah.
There are some comments I would like to read. We have so many audience watching it because this is such a rare opportunity for everybody to see uncle, and especially during this lockdown period, and listen to him and know the differences between the gharanas. Shupriyo Datta is saying Pranam Guruji. My regards to Kalakar Arts for arranging such a meeting. It's an honor for us, Shupriyo, as you know. Mita Hawk from Bangladesh saying Pandit Vijay Uncle Kaku Vijay Kichlu Kaku. Oh my God. Shahana Bhattacharya, pure bliss. Yes, indeed, Shahana. Bhagavati Makwana, Urmi Chakraborty, Sadar Pranam, Charan Sparsh. Jai Vishwadevji saying greetings to Vijay Uncle. Preeti Singh, looking great, Dr. Shangjukta Ghoshji alongside eminent guest. Thank you so much, Preeti Singh. And Jaiji is saying a very important explanation of the uniqueness of Agra Gharana. Absolutely, Jaiji. I can't agree more because I knew that it's only uncle who could give us such teaching. Sangeeta Lahiri Srivastav is paying respect to you, uncle. We have Kali
Thank
Krishna
you very
Guha
much.
ji as well. Arshad Ali Khan. Hello, Arshad. Ar Rahim. Yes, we are. I know. Everybody is watching so eagerly. Uncle, please tell us a few bandishes which is very unique to Agra Gharana.
And your
आगरा घराने की 50,000 बंदिशें हैं,
Ji.
which are unique in the sense that as I mentioned, although I would not say that other gharanas do not possess great bandishes and very valuable bandishes, but the usefulness of a bandish or the beauty of a bandish is confined to a particular gaiki in which the bandish is created, composed, and also rendered. Every gaiki has its own beauty, subtlety, delicacy. Now, as I said, Agra's beauty and delicacy is that it has a wonderful blend of Drupad and Khayal. Because Agra is a link between Drupad and Khayal, as I mentioned. It was an Agra musician who had gone to Gwalior as a child and learned Khayal Gaiki and brought it to Agra again and converted Agra's Drupad Gaiki into Khayal Gaiki. That is why it is so different from other Khayal Gaikis, and that is why there are few characteristics of Agra compositions or Agra Gaiki where which are distinct, and I would say, to explain. The first is that there is so much of importance of lay, the blend of lay and sur. That is, I think, apart from certain other Dhrupad Kriyas like Amak and Mead, etc., that Agra specializes.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Any other questions, Imtiazda? We are
I have.
almost coming to an end because Uncle, at this age, Uncle, I must say, you don't look like you are. Well, shall I tell you? Shall I tell everyone how old Uncle is? Well, he looks very
He
young.
has to
He's
do
only
this
19.
once.
He's only 19. I know that.
I'm
I
90 years old.
definitely have one question, but Imtiaz, do
And I think
No, please.
I'd just like to contribute your I would like to talk about your contribution to music as a whole in this whole subcontinent. As Amita Haq, who is a famous Tagore singer from Bangladesh, was just saying her greetings to you. We all know, even from Bangladesh, how from our gurus that you have enormous contribution in terms of energizing the classical music and semi-classical music in say, for example, in Bangladesh. I would just want to know a little bit more about your insight into your sort of experience when you went to Dhaka and other parts and also met Bangladeshi musicians.
Well, let me tell you that one of the most memorable demonstrations that I gave, public demonstration in a hall, large hall with a large audience. So one of the most memorable demonstrations was in Dhaka. And Janab Wahidul Haq Saab, Wahid Bhai,
Yeah.
was there live at that time. And then he had taken me to his institution and his contribution in Bangladesh. And, he came to Calcutta several times, stayed with me. So I got to know Bangladesh through
Him.
and it was absolutely marvelous. Then I developed very wonderful relationships with some of your female singers whom I adopted as my daughters.
Yeah.
Moina, Shukla.
Yes.
They're the most wonderful singers and most wonderful human beings.
Oh.
I still maintain that relationship, and they are like my daughters, very, very closely attached to me. So Bangladesh, I have very fond, very pleasant memories, and it all started, I would say, with or because of my very close friend Dave Mukherjee and his wife Purvi Mukherjee.
Yes.
Thoroughly dedicated to Indian classical music. Dave Mukherjee was our Indian High Commissioner at Bangladesh at that time.
Yeah.
And they were the link. And then they took me to Bangladesh several times. Wahid Bhai came to Calcutta, stayed with me at the academy for a long time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, with many of his students. So that is how Bangladesh has a very special place in my heart, and I have very fond memories of Bangladesh.
Thank you.
Actually, Uncle is honestly, he's still in his 20s, isn't it, Imtiaz? He remembers all the names that we forget at times.
I
And
know. I mean,
yeah.
the way you remembered so many incidents, the names and everything. I mean, of course you will remember. Why will you not?
Yes, I
I
have some more comments. Jayji is saying Vijayji's contribution is unique in the field of music. Agreed, Jayji. Davinder Singh Lamba Hello, Devinder ji. Gaurav Majumdar is saying hello to you, uncle. Debashish Bhattacharya, Debashish da. Namaskar, Debashish da. Debashish da is saying Vijay uncle is our real father of Hindustani music, unparalleled, and contributions can't be measured. Absolutely, you are correct. And also, as you
Thank
spoke earlier, Jaiji, that yes, uncle's contribution towards ITC SRA, it is enormous. It
We did
is
discuss that.
absolutely, absolutely. We did discuss that. Bonani Mishra Sanyal is also here. Abhishek Gupta. There are a lot of people watching. And uncle, just to let you know, we have Shubhradi as well with us. So I'm going to talk to
you.
Shubhradi, and she's waiting at the backstage eagerly. I can see Shubhradi is now smiling at us, and she's also enjoying this chat. Shubhradi, would you like to join us now? I have to let Uncle go. It's quite late, but I think it would be lovely to have you as well.
Best as well,
You
yes.
want to come? Yes. Let's have Shubhradi now. I can't hear you, Shubhradi, until I have you. Let's have you. Here we go.
Let
Here
me let me also talk about her for a couple of minutes.
Please do, Uncle.
Shubhradi is a very distinguished, well, musicians, I would say, from our country, because she is not in the habit of going and performing here and there everywhere. She is very selective, very exclusive, but the amount of learning she possesses, her repertoire as a musician of ragas, of bandishes, and different kinds of bandishes from different great musicians, it is unparalleled. There are very few listeners who have really tested her properly, but I would say if you get a chance to test her, see what kind of a repertoire she possesses,
Absolutely.
you will be amazed. It's absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely. And that's the real
Yeah,
Guru Shishya
we are
Parampara
all
we have
proud
here
of
today. Honestly, I this is such a remarkable historical moment. I have my Guruji behind me here. We have Vijay uncle there as well as Shubhradi. So it's a real Guru Shishya Parampara that we are experiencing. Shubhradi, thank you so much for joining us. Vijay
And
uncle, I shouldn't thank you because मैं तो बड़ी हुई हूँ आपके आशीर्वाद से. Thank you
It's
so
such
much
a
for
pleasure.
joining us.
It's such a pleasure. You are doing a great job in popularizing our music and taking it to such great audiences. And this is a great contribution. God bless you and God strengthen you as much as possible in every respect.
Thank
God
you,
bless
uncle. Please,
Thank
please
you.
and
look
Uncle,
after yourself.
before you leave, I just want a very quick, a strong message from you for the generation, for this generation practicing khayal. And what would be your message, especially in this very distressing time that we are going through? How do we survive this through music? Just a message from you before you go. That would be
See,
wonderful.
all I would say that as you mentioned yourself in your small talk just now,
Mhm.
music is for self-preservation and self-survival. Music is not for entertainment. This is a different aspect of our classical music, our Shastriya Sangeet, which audiences have adopted. It is basically for internal consumption, for cleaning yourself, and for uh, deriving spiritual benefit from it. That is what classical music is for, and that is what the character of our music is. It is not entertainment. It's a very important, well, aspect and character which I think everybody should understand.
Well
Thank
said.
you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, uncle. Please look after
It's a
yourself.
pleasure. Yes.
As soon as the lockdown is over, I'm going to fly to Calcutta and Charan Sparsh.
I will welcome you with open arms.
I know.
You are doing such a wonderful job.
I know,
And
uncle. Thank you
haven't
so
seen
much.
you for a long time. Haven't seen you for a long time.
I know,
Love to have
uncle.
you.
I know, uncle.
Uncle,
Thank
you
you
have to
so much.
accept the extended family as well.
Yes, of course, it is.
Namaskar, uncle. We'll see you again
Namaskar.
soon.
Certainly. Anytime.
Thank you.
Shubhradi, oh, that was such an emotional moment for me. I'm sure.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
anybody, he is the veteran musician and musicologist and a very well-read person.
Absolutely.
So, and he was a very close to Pandit Kananji.
Yes.
So he is the best person. So I am very, very, very little, space to say. I don't know what I will say. Everything Uncle Ji has told.
No, it was, it was, I couldn't believe he still remembers all the names. He remembers when he started SRA, how it started, how he
Yes.
met Guruji. And we forget what happened day before yesterday. So that's
Yes.
what makes him such special person
And
to
he,
all of us.
importantly, he's only 19.
He's only 90. He's only 90, honestly. Yeah. Shubhradi, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
তোমাকে তো আমি তো ছোট থেকে তোমাকে দেখে বড় হয়েছি, যেমন আঙ্কেলকে দেখে বড় হয়েছি. So it's such a pleasure and honor for me to have you with us at Kalakar. Let me introduce you to Dr. Sanjukta Ghosh, who is Artistic Director of SOAS South Asia Institute.
নমস্কার
Namaskar.
দাদি। It's a
আর
real
আমাদের সঙ্গে ইমতিয়াজদা রয়েছেন, ডক্টর ইমতিয়াজ আহমেদ, a very well-known oncologist, but he is a team member of Kalakar, a project director as well. And
So
Shubhradi,
nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Shubhradi, প্রথমে একটু গান দিয়ে শুরু করি।
হ্যাঁ,
তোমার যা ভালো
বলো
লাগছে,
কি
তুমি যা
রাগ
শোনাবে,
শুনবে।
তোমার যা গাইতে ইচ্ছে করছে এখন। তার আগে আমি তোমার পেছনে দুজন আছেন তাদের সাথে একটু আলাপ করে নি। আমি জানি ওনারা বিভিন্নভাবে সাহায্য করেছেন আজকে। নমস্কার।
ও নমস্কার।
Pranam, namaskar to all of you.
She is Sanjukta, another Sanjukta, and Chatterjee Vishwa.
Okay.
She is a
Hello,
very,
Sanjukta.
very good singer, and he is Shushanto Talukdar.
Hello, Shushanto. So here is again we have the example of Guru Shishya Parampara, that Sanjukta has come to Shubhradi even during this lockdown period to support her Guru, so that we can have the session. That proves that we are still continuing with this Parampara, to be with your Guru, help them, support them, and just learn from them. Wonderful.
And one of my another daughter, they are from the same time they are learning from me. She, Sabina Mumtaz Islam, she stays so far from here, so she couldn't come. Otherwise, she would have also come. Both of them are
শুভ্রাদি, তোমার ফোনটা বোধহয় একটু আপসাইড ডাউন হয়ে গেছে, একটুখানি ঠিক করে নিতে হবে। বাট ইয়েস, এখন ঠিক হয়েছে আবার। হ্যাঁ, ঠিক হয়েছে। শুভ্রাদি, চলো এবার একটু গান শুনি।
ঠিক আছে, আমরা শুনতে পাচ্ছি কিন্তু। আবার ফিরে আসবেন আশা করি।
আবার ফিরে আসবে শুভ্রাদি, অসুবিধা নেই। That was such an amazing experience having Vijay.
Yes, I'm so pleased that a lot of things that I wanted to hear actually came out. The way he wrapped it up, and so fluently still managed to hold forth all the sequences that he remembered, and sort of stringing together a story that was so instant.
Absolutely. He's such a cute person, I would say.
I mean, you obviously have been very lucky to have lots of.
I'm blessed. Yeah, we are actually, whoever we were the scholars at Sangeet Shishya Academy during that time, indeed, really blessed to have that expert committee in front of us sitting there Shubhradi would also remember, and if I can clearly see those days that from the left we are sitting on the stage performing as scholars. In front of us there is Vijay uncle, there is Viji Jok Sahab, there is my Guruma Guruji, Deepa Didi, Gyan Babu, Ajay Sinha Roy, and it's just, even if today when I remember that, I get scared. Oh my God, how did I even sing in front of them?
Singing, yeah, I know.
That's
We
the
did
time.
have a discussion about how
Honestly,
those
yeah,
exams were tough. But I
that's
liked
amazing.
hearing the foundation of that institution, and the way you described it was really special. There are lots of special moments, you just have to go back to those clips.
Lots of them, honestly.
Shubhradi,
এবার গান শুনি.
Today I just want to say, today we are here for Pandit Ekanand's 100 years birthday. So he was a real crazy person for music, real crazy. So I would like to offer him my offerings of music. Whatever I have, I will do one composition first, as you said. It is in Rag Jog. Ustad Vilayat Hussain Khan Sahab was a prominent musician after Ustad Fayyaz Khan Sahab. So his pen name was Pran Piya. So I will take Rag in Dhru Tektal, Ustad Vilayat Hussain Khan Sahab's composition. सुहावे घड़ी पलट कछुन सुहावे आज तड़प तड़प चियरनिक सो जात घड़ी पलट कछुन सुहावे घड़ी पलट कछुन सुहावे तड़प तड़प चियरनिक सो जात घड़ी पलचिन कछुना सुहाए घड़ी पलचिन कछुना सुहाए घड़ी पलचिन घड़ी पलचिन कछुना सुहाए प्राण पिया मोरा मन हर प्राण पिया प्राण पिया मोरा मन हर बहुत दुख विरह कठिन अब सहो ना जात है घड़ी पल घड़ी पल छिन कछुन सुहाए घड़ी पल छिन कछुन सुहाए घड़ी पल छिन कछुन सुहावे घड़ी पल छिन कछुन घड़ी पल छिन आवे घड़ी पल छिन घड़ी पल छिना घड़ी पल छिना कछु न सुहाए 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 न सुहाए न सुहाए घड़ी पल छिना कछु न सुहाए आज मोरा कर पतर पछिया रंग सो जात है घड़ी पल छिना कछु न सुहाए। আমি শুনতে পাচ্ছি না। I can't hear you.
এবার শুনতে পাচ্ছো? হ্যাঁ, আমি বলছি এখানে আমাদের অনেকে আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন যারা লিখছেন যে তারা absolutely thrilled to have you here. I'm just going to read some comments. কালীকৃষ্ণ জেঠু বলছেন, কালীকৃষ্ণ গুহ, শুভ্রাকে অনেকদিন পর দেখে আনন্দ হলো, আশা করি ভালো আছো শুভ্রা।
প্রণাম নেবেন কালীকৃষ্ণ বাবু।
আর জয়জি রয়েছেন, অনেকক্ষণ থেকে আমাদের সঙ্গে আছেন। জয় বিশ্বজিৎ দি, তোমাকে খুব ভালো করে জানেন।
হাই জয়।
জয়জি রয়েছেন এখানে, জাগির আলম, মৌপালি চৌধুরী, পৃথা চ্যাটার্জি, শতরূপা কর, সোমদত্তা চ্যাটার্জি, সেরা সিং, শিল্পী রবি বলছেন সাবিনা and সংযুক্তা are two bright wings of Subhra Guha Didi, making her proud.
Very true.
Absolutely, we have witnessed that today. সাবিনা ইসলাম রহমান রয়েছেন সঙ্গে। রাজ্যশ্রীদি বলছে চন্দ্রা তোমাকে আর শুভ্রাদিকে দেখে আর শুনে পুরোনো দিনের কথা মনে পড়ে যাচ্ছে। সত্যি রাজশ্রীদি, একদম তাই। রাজশ্রীদি ওখানে, হ্যাঁ, দেবাশিস ভট্টাচার্য রয়েছেন আমাদের সঙ্গে, দেবাশিস দা শুনছেন। অর্জুন রায়, শুক্লা নাগ, শ্রীময়ী ভট্ট, অনেকে, প্রণবেশ ঘোষ, সবাই মিলে গান শুনছেন শুভ্রাদি। তো কিছু কিছু জিনিস আমরা জানতে চাইবো তোমার কাছে আজকে। ইমতিয়াজ দা বলো, তোমার কোনো প্রশ্ন আছে শুভ্রাদির? কিন্তু আমি একটু বলি যে শুভ্রাদির একটা ডিফারেন্ট, she has got a different গায়কি which makes it very unique. You know, as Vijay uncle was saying about the laikari, I think Shubhradi's laikari is something very different that you probably have seen a little bit glimpse of it. But I remember the way Shubhradi used to perform, having complete command on the stage. Her laikari, her alap, her tan sargam is very unique. So we would like to hear that. And Shubhradi also has a lot of experience with DT Joshi Gindeji as well. So we want to hear some. And Shubhradi is the author of a book as well. Shubhradi, তোমার কথা বলো, আমরা সবাই আজকে শুনতে চাই, তোমার গল্প বলো।
গল্প কিছু নয়, এগুলো সবারই জীবনে থাকে। এভরিবডি হ্যাজ দেয়ার ওন স্টোরি। The truth is, I have not come from a musician's family, and there was no music environment in our house. But my father was very much, crazy lover of music, especially Indian classical music. So I think he couldn't do music for the family problem. So I think that gene has worked into my mind, my brain. So from my childhood, I was also a crazy of music. In my childhood, I didn't like Indian classical music at all. I used to sing Manna Dey, Asha Bhosle ji, Lata ji, but all my favorite songs were based on any rag or any good rhythm or sound. Something was there which attracted me so much. Like Jibono Gan Gahe Keje, Asha Bhoslejiর একটা গান আছে, like this. I used to really like all those songs, and gradually I was my father my father's friend was there, who was a disciple of Girija Shankar Chakravarti. His name is Shri Satish Bhaumik. He was my first guru when I was 5 years old. So the story begins from here. When I was 5 years old, gradually, you know, well, while I was taking lessons from him, we are three sisters who were his students. So gradually, I used to like good sound and not a very good raga, but gradually it became my passion. So, and the thing is, whenever I have gone to a competition or anywhere, I stood first. So when I was a little child, I was very, you know, excited and very much glad to have those. Anyway, so then when I was like 19-20 years old, I went to Pandit Sunil Bose, who has really groomed me, really given me the Vidya first. Then D.T. Joshi ji, Pandit D.T. Joshi ji, was my loving guru, and Pandit K.G. Ginde. I am so lucky to have this real, knowledgeable, and very big-hearted persons.
Absolutely.
And being in SRA, I used to hear all the different gharanas, ustads, and disciples, all are practicing or the teaching sessions, and you know how was it. Chandra knows. So that is how I was being brought up in a heaven that was ITC Sangeet Research
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
রূপশ্রী, আমারও ভীষণ ভালো লাগছে। শুভ্রাদি শোনো, রূপশ্রী বলছে যে দিদিকে অনেক অনেক প্রণাম, মনে হচ্ছে অনেক যুগ পরে দিদিকে দেখছি। সত্যি দেখ, এই লকডাউনে যে দেখা হচ্ছে এইভাবে হলেও, সেটাও কিন্তু কিছু কম নয়।
সেটা বিজ্ঞানকে সায়েন্টিস্টদের, ভগবানকে অনেক আমরা ধন্যবাদ দিই। অন্তত এইটুকু তো হচ্ছে,
অন্তত এইটুকু তো দেখা হচ্ছে আমাদের সবার। ভালো থাকিস রূপশ্রী, তোর সাথেও শিগগিরই আমার কথা হবে, দেখা হবে। আচ্ছা শুভ্রাদি, তুমি কি আরো একটু কিছু গান শোনাবে? আমি আসলে খুব, যেটা বিজয় আঙ্কেলের সঙ্গেও কথা হচ্ছিল, যে আগ্রা ঘরানার অনেক বন্দিশ আছে যেগুলো খুব বিখ্যাত, হ্যাঁ, তো যেগুলো আমি তোমার কাছে শুনেছি, তুমি ওরকম কিছু আমাদের ছোট ছোট করে যদি শোনাও তাহলে খুব ভালো লাগবে।
হ্যাঁ, শোনাচ্ছি। যেমন ধরো, বাজে মুড়ি পাগলি রাগ বারওয়া। This is a very special rag and very famous rag for Agra Gharana. Any other musicians except Agra Gharana I have not heard.
আচ্ছা।
So this is the composition of Ustad Fayyaz Khan.
আচ্ছা শুভ্রাদি, তুমি একটু রাগের চলনটা একটু বুঝিয়ে দাও না আমাদের, একটু রাগের চলনটাই, যে বলছো আগ্রা ঘরানা ছাড়া কেউ গান না, একটু রাগের চলনটা আমাদের শিখিয়ে দাও।
আমি গান গাইতে গাইতে সারগম দিয়ে করে দেবো।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
बाजे मोरी पायलिया प्रेम बाजे मोरी पायलिया कैसे कर आऊं तुम्हारे पास मितवा बाजे मोरी पायलिया प्रेम बाजे मोरी पायलिया तुम्हारे पास मितवा बाजे मोरी पायलिया re re ga sa. This is the main phase of Parva. Re re ga sa re sa re बाजे मोरी रे मा 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 गा गा रे गा सा रे मा गा रे सा रे गा सा रे मा मा पा पा धा मा पा गा वा जे मोरी पायलिया बाजे मोरी पायलिया बाजे मोरी बाजे मोरी मोरी बाजे प्रेम बाजे Sai ra ba ma ga re sa ba je mo ba ye ya ye ba je ni ra ba na ma ba ga ya ma ga re sa ni ra ba je mo ni ra re ma ba ni sa re ga re sa ni ra ba ma ba ga ra ma ga re ma ma pa pa ni ni sa ni ga re ma ga re sa ni ra ba ma ga re sa ra ba je mo sa ni ra
আহা, শুভ্রাদি, তোমার কাছে রিকোয়েস্ট। হ্যাঁ, ভীষণ, খুব পরিষ্কার হয়েছে, আমরা যেমন শুনতে পাচ্ছিলাম, সুন্দর। আচ্ছা, তোমার কাছে রিকোয়েস্ট এসছে, রূপশ্রী বলছে নেক্সট ওয়ান টু লিসেন রামদাসী মালহার প্লিজ। এটা রূপশ্রী আগেও লিখেছে, আগেও লিখেছে। আরো কিছু কমেন্টস আছে, আমি একটু পড়ে দিই। তবলাটা আসলে রূপশ্রী যেটা হচ্ছে জানি, সেটা তো ইলেকট্রনিক্যালি আমরা সবকিছু করছি, আনফরচুনেটলি ওই মাহলটা একটু হলেও মিসিং। তবলাটা খুব বেশি জোরে হলে না গলাটা চেপে যাচ্ছে, সেই জন্য এইভাবে আমাদের একটুখানি কম্প্রোমাইজ করতে হয়েছে আজকে। তো যতটুকু শোনা যাচ্ছে ওইভাবেই করতে হবে। সঙ্গীতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়, সঙ্গীতাদি নমস্কার, ভালো লাগছে আপনি এসেছেন এখানে। লিখছেন যে উস্তাদ আমির খান সাবস বারওয়াই is one of the most phenomenal one. He has sang 2 traditional bandishes from Gwalior Gharana. Yes, absolutely, you are correct. খুব ভালো লাগলো সঙ্গীতাদি, আপনি আছেন সঙ্গে দেখে। সঙ্গে শুক্লা নাগ ছিলেন, বনানী এখনো আছেন, মঞ্জু রঞ্জন চক্রবর্তী। বাবা মা বলছে শুভ্রাদি যে বহুদিন পরে শুভ্রাকে দেখে ও শুনে খুব আনন্দ হলো। আচ্ছা, আর সুপ্রিয় দত্ত বলছে রাগ মেঘ and its uniqueness in আগ্রা ঘরানা প্লিজ। তো এটা হচ্ছে সুপ্রিয়র আবদার, আর রানাদাও রয়েছে সঙ্গে। তো এবারে তোমার উপরে ছেড়ে দিয়ে, তুমি রামদাসী মালহার আগে গাইবে নাকি আগ্রা ঘরানার ইউনিকনেসটা মেঘ দিয়ে বোঝাবে, রাগ মেঘ দিয়ে, সেটা তুমি বলো, এটা তুমি ঠিক করো, তারপরে আমরা কথায় যাচ্ছি।
তবলার কি আওয়াজ আসছে না?
তবলার আওয়াজ আসছে, এর থেকে বেশি জোরে হলে তোমার গলাটা চেপে যাবে আর সংযুক্তার গলাটাও কম শোনাবে। তবলার আওয়াজ শোনা যাচ্ছে,
শোনা যাচ্ছে, কিন্তু আমাদের কাছে কেউ লিখেছে যে তবলা শোনা যাচ্ছে না, খুব কম শোনা যাচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ, আসলে ওটাই আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে আরো একটু বাড়াতে গেলে তোমাদের গানটা যদি চেপে যায়, এটাই আমার ভয় করছে।
একটু দেখো তো, একটুখানি যদি সামান্য
আরেকটু এগিয়ে আসুক, ও একটু যদি এগিয়ে আসে তাহলে হয়তো একটুখানি আরেকটু বাড়বে তবলার আওয়াজটা।
আমি প্রথমে মেঘ গাইছি।
আচ্ছা,
গরজ ঘটা গরজ ঘটা কারে এখানে আমি একটা কথা বলতে চাই যে
বলো।
অন্যান্য ঘরানায় মেঘে কিন্তু কোমল গান্ধার লাগানো হয় না, কিন্তু আগ্রা ঘরানায় কোমল গান্ধারের ইউজ আছে। সেটা যেন লোকেরা না ভাবে আমি ভুল করে লাগিয়ে ফেললাম।
আচ্ছা, আমার মনে হয় এই ইউনিকনেসটার কথাই বলছিল সুপ্রিয়।
হ্যাঁ, চলো। आये अति धूम धाम आये अति धूम धाम आये अति धूम धाम के बार हमारे मन भाए आए अति धूम धाम आए अति धूम धाम आए मन भाए आए रैन अंधेरी दामनी दमक रैन अंधेरी दामनी दमक पापिया बोले रैन अंधेरी दामनी दमक रैन अंधेरी दामनी दमक पापिया पियो 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 बोले पापिया पियो 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 बोले पापिया 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 पियो 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 में आए आए लगे नाम आए
আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে Subhra is having a little bit of technical problem, but she would be back soon. Yeah, while she's coming, I just would like to read the comments that I have received now. Ruma Paul is saying, "Wah, kya baat! Honestly, today has been a historical session, and I'm waiting for more tomorrow. It's like a dream coming true for me for tomorrow, as we are having Ustad Shahid Parvez ji with us today. He's in America. He's going to join us tomorrow. We are having Pandit Kumar Bose ji with us today, and Pandit Debashis Bhattacharya. It's honestly, it's like your dream coming true tomorrow. So I have been waiting for it. Subhra di আবার এসে তোমার বোধহয় একটু গন্ডগোল হয়েছিল, এত মন দিয়ে গান শুনছিলাম আমরা, একটু ছন্দপতন, বাট ইটস ওকে। তাও যে এত ভালো শোনা যাচ্ছে। সঞ্জু নমস্কার। হ্যাঁ বলো শুভ্রাদি, বলো।
হ্যাঁ তুমি কিছু বলছিলে, সেটা আগে বলে নাও।
আচ্ছা, আমি কিছু কমেন্টস আছে, তুমি চলে গেছিলে স্ক্রিন থেকে বলে আমি কমেন্টস গুলো পড়ছিলাম। তো আমরা গানটা শেষ করি শুভ্রাদি, তারপরে কমেন্টস পড়বো।
আমি একটু সুরমল্লারের একটা বন্দিশ গাইছি, ওটাও এমপিআর বন্দিশ, দুটো গাইছি।
গাও।
বাদর বরসন কো আয়ে বাদর বরসন কো आए बादल बरसन आए ननी ननी बूंदन गरज गरज चहूं और बिजुली चमकत बादल बरसन आए बादल कोयला की कूक सुनता कोयला की कूक कोयला की कूक सुनत हूँ उठत छाती धड़कत कलन पड़त पिया बिन पिया 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 करत बल बरसन आए बल बरसन आए बदन बदला को आए बदन बदन ओ ए बदन बदन बरसन आए ननी ननी बूंदन गरज गरज चहुआर बिजुली चमकत बरसन आए बरसन आए बरसन ना दिन गरज गरज এটা উঠানটা দেখো এটা প্রেম পিয়ার বন্দিশ गरज गरज चहु और गर पावे गरज गरज चहु और गर पावे बिजुरिया महका निसा दिन पिया बिना कछु न सुनाए गरज गरज चहु और गर पावे गरज 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 चहु और गर पावे
I think, Didi just pressed some button and we just disconnected, but hopefully we'll be back soon.
Yes, she will be back. Orpita Chatterjee, thank you for being with us, Orpita ji. And আমি জানি তোমার যেমন ভালো লাগছে আমাদেরও ভীষণ ভালো লাগছে. Jai ji, yes, indeed, it's wonderful to have Subhra di as well as Vijay uncle before that. হ্যাঁ Subhra di, এসো আবার.
पवन चलत सुसन ऐसी बरखानिक में मोरियाली प्रेम पिया को जाए को समझाए गरज गरज चहु और गर पावे गर पावे गर पावे
অনবদ্য I would have to read the comments now Subhra di.
yes
বাবা মা লিখছেন শুভ্রা নিজে গেয়ে যেমন আনন্দ দিচ্ছে তেমনও নিজে আনন্দ পাচ্ছে বলেই মনে হচ্ছে এক্স্যাক্টলি আর সিদ্ধার্থ বলছে হ্যাঁ সত্যি আসলে নিজে গেয়ে ভালো লাগছে তোমার আনন্দ হচ্ছে বলেই সেই আনন্দটা অন্যদের মধ্যে তুমি ছড়িয়ে দিতে পারছো তাই না হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা কালীকৃষ্ণ গুহ বলছেন শুভ্রার হাঁটা লক্ষ্য করার মতো শিক্ষণীয় তুমি এই নিয়ে আমাদের কিছু বলো শুভ্রাদি I'm sure a lot of people out there would love to learn this from you
there is a say in olden days ustads pandits they used to say, आकार नहीं है तो सब बेकार है. You can translate it in English.
Yeah. In English, there is, if you don't have the akar, then it's not worth it. Proper akar.
No, bekar hai, matlab, if you
sab
sing
bekar
well,
hai, how would you say it in English, Imtiazda? Sab bekar hai.
If you don't have proper akar, then it's pointless of
it's
having
pointless.
many music.
Yes, it is pointless. So akar is the main vowel for a student should be trained. If your akar is properly opened up, it is proper, then every vowel would be equally
easily
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So akar is the first, one student should learn from the guru. So akar, তুমি বড় গুলাম আলী খান সাহেবের ছবিটা একটু নিয়ে এসো, আমি একটু আকারটা দেখাতে চাই।
হ্যাঁ, দেখাও
একটু দেখো যে, সরি, হ্যাঁ, আমি একটু দেখাতে চাই ওনার আকারটা।
This is the akar of Ustad Bari Ghulam Ali Khan.
Ustad Bari Ghulam Ali Khan sahab.
দেখো, দেখা যাচ্ছে, বোঝা যাচ্ছে?
তুমি একটু ওদিকে সরাও, তোমার বাঁদিকে একটু সরাও ছবিটা। তোমার বাঁদিকে। তোমার বাঁদিকে সরাও।
That's it. Now closer to the camera. Perfect.
হ্যাঁ. Yes, absolutely. Perfect. Perfect. Yes.
Got it. Thank you. We got it.
So they all are, he is the person who has motivated me into classical musician, because that in that old days, what was the picture? जिसमें उन्होंने प्रेम अगन जियारा, that मुगल आजम का जो गाना था, I was
that akar has motivated you to learn.
Not only akar, the sound that I can't express. It was absolutely fascinating, and today I am fascinated by him.
Yeah. Didi, I have a question. If I may ask you,
all are different flowers. Every flower has its own beauty and smell and utility. But some flowers are really accepted by all the world.
Yes.
So this is one of my favorite musicians.
Absolutely. Shubhrati, just to let you know, if it's easier to communicate, আমরা হিন্দিতেও কথা বলতে পারি, যদি তোমার তাতে মনে হয়। हिंदी में बात करें फिर। अच्छा, जो comments यहाँ पे है इम्तियाज दा, I just wanted to read it. Jai ji, yes, I absolutely 100% agree with you that we have to invite Subhra di to London soon. So that's Subhra di, an invitation for you. আর তোমার জন্য আরো অনুরোধ এসেছে।
I don't think that after not in this year, next year, I don't know, Corona will be there or plane will be there. Otherwise, I don't have wing.
We have to be.
But I want to go there.
We have to be positive, Shubhrati. We have to look forward to having you, all other maestros with us in London, so that we can have the mahol over here with us. We absolutely have to do this. So just let's be positive. অর্চনা সর্দার বলছেন, মামুনি আপনাকে প্রণাম জানাই। আমি আচ্ছা, শ্রীতমা সর্দার বলছি। প্রিয়া তিওয়ারি, তনুলা চক্রবর্তী সঙ্গে রয়েছেন, অনেক ধন্যবাদ। আবির মুখার্জি সঙ্গে, সঞ্জু ভাই রয়েছেন এখান থেকে, শুভ্রাদি শুনছেন, সঙ্গীতা লাহিড়ী শ্রীবাস্তব সবাই এখানে বসে গান শুনছেন এবং আনন্দ পাচ্ছেন আমি জানি। And Jay, what is Jay ji saying is corona or no corona? So, well. আচ্ছা শুভ্রাদি শোনো, সোহিনীর জন্য অনুরোধ এসছে ঠুমরি কাজরি। এবারে এগুলো সব কিন্তু আমাদের দর্শক শ্রোতারা জানাচ্ছেন, আমি কিছু জানি না। এবার তুমি কি গাইবে? ছোট ছোট করে গাও, ছোট ছোট করে।
जीत जागे प्रेम रस पागे, जाओ अब तुम जाओ, এটা আমার গুরুজি पंडित बीजी जोशी जी रचना। अब तुम जाओ, अब तुम जाओ, जाओ, अब तुम जाओ, तुम करत मुझसे झूठी झूठी बतिया, काहे करत मुझसे झूठी झूठी बतिया, काहे करत मुझसे झूठी झूठी बतिया, जान गई तुम्हारी सब घटिया, जान गई तुम्हारी सब घटिया, प्रेम रंग अब साच कहूँ तुम किन सतन के घर वाला गे, जाओ अब जाओ, जाओ अब तुम जाओ, गामधानी सा अब तुम जाओ 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 अब तुम जाओ दीन तनन दितानु तदेर नदीन तनन दितानु तदेर नदीन तनन दितानु तदेर नदी तनन दितानु तदेर नदी तनन तनन दिन तनन दितानु तदेर ना तन देरे नदी ना देरे देरे तन तुंग ताना रे दादा दादा
Imtiaz, I'm actually speechless at the moment. So please ask. I'm sure you have lots.
I think it's probably better to hear your music, Shubhradi. Let's not talk too much because it's so overwhelming and mesmerizing, your music. One thing I was wondering, after we listened to Vijay uncle earlier about Agra Gharana, and he was clearly mentioning that it is a very masculine gharana. You have to have your voice from your chest and, lots of gamaki and all those things. As a female torchbearer of Agra Gharana, how do you find it? I mean, do you find it when is that much more male dominant gharana, or as a female Agra Gharana singer, do you have any problems in facing that, or how do you overcome that? Does that bring a different kind of dimension to it?
Very good question. Yes, I had gone through a very, very high Siddhartha. I have gone through a very, very problematic time.
Yeah.
That duration was when I was in SRA.
Right.
And without, what happens when Guru is teaching you, you will follow him just andher moto, just like a blind
blindly. Yes.
Sorry. So
शुभ्रा दी, आप आराम से बैठिए, आराम से बैठ के बातें करिए.
आराम से नहीं बैठ सकते बहुत देर. तो उस वक्त देखो, जो आप गिन के देख लो, जो अच्छे सब घराने में फीमेल डोमिनेटिंग म्यूजिशियन बहुत कम हुए, ज्यादातर मेल ही है. लेकिन आगरा घराना itself a masculine घराना. So to adapt blindly Agra Gharana, it was not suiting me. So Vijay uncle is the person who was the first person to tell me that you have to follow your guru, Sunil Bose ji, KG Ginde ji, DT Joshi ji. You have to follow them, but you are a female. It does not look it doesn't look good. Some features or some gestures which doesn't suit a woman. So if I do, the main thing is Agra Gharana's Dhupad Ang and the Alapchari. Like it is full of gamak, full of prince, like a kingly attitude. মানে আমি ঠিক বোঝাতে পারছি কিনা জানি না, is it okay?
Fine, yes, it's good, yeah.
হিন্দিতে বলতে পারো শুভ্রাদি, যদি তাতে সুবিধা হয় তোমার কমিউনিকেট করতে।
मतलब it is very difficult to adopt feminine approach in Agra Gharana, I would say. तो उसके बाद हमको जब हम बड़े होने लगे, when I was growing up and hearing all the musicians, especially nobody was there, the female singer whom I can follow. So in front of me there was no female singer as my Pathopradarshak,
Guide.
who will give me real guidance. So my Guruji said, Sunil Boji said, D.T. Joshi ji said that there is a very well-known female musician, Zohra Bai of Agra Gharana. You should hear her.
Right.
She didn't change her voice. It is not like I will do like তাই বলে আগ্রা ঘরানায় ফেমিনিটি ছিল না, না। আগ্রা ঘরানা এত সমৃদ্ধ, তুমি পুকারে যাও, তুমি ফাইয়াজ খান সাহেবের গলা দেখো, যে এইরকম বড় একটা গলাকে উনি কখনো কখনো কত नजाकत के साथ उन्होंने गाया है, कितनी नजाकत के साथ गाया है। हम लोगों के गला से वो निकलता नहीं है। So that problem I had the problem, but gradually the guidance of Kichlu Saab and my thinking, everything got together, and I think I have overcome the problem.
Thank you. And in terms of teaching your students, you know, when you're teaching your students, I mean, you know, if you have a male student, obviously you have a lot of students. I mean,
especially I don't teach male, but it is very difficult to sing in men's pitch, and they can't sing in my pitch. So
yeah, that's it, exactly what I was thinking. How do you teach your style of Agra Gharana to a male singer? Yes, yeah. No, that's nice. Thank you.
শুভ্রাদি, একটা আমি বাংলাতেই বলছি, মানে ইংলিশে সবাই বুঝবে। তুমি এক্ষুনি বললে না যে এই যে ইমতিয়াজ যে প্রশ্নটা করলো যে ইউ হ্যাড আ প্রবলেম, ইংলিশেই বলি, just now you mentioned that you had a bit of a problem adapting to the Agra Gharana. So just my quick question that came to my mind is, if you have had a problem, did you ever think of switching over to some other gharana which you felt that would suit you more?
No, because when I heard my guru Pandit Sunil Boji of Agra Gharana, he had a very powerful voice and very ki bole otake joari dar gola chilo,
sonorous voice.
And I liked his gaiki and voice and everything I liked. So I didn't think any twice that I would switch over to any other gharana.
Okay, so you are in love with Agra Gharana basically.
Yes, but
yes.
I have learned Thumri, Dadra, etc. And D.T. Joshi ji is a person, oh my God, who I can't even forget after my death. So he was a person who has taught me so many things.
হ্যাঁ উনি তো হি ওয়াজ অ্যান এনসাইক্লোপিডিয়া বেসিক্যালি, এটা একদম পুরোটা একদম একটা এনসাইক্লোপিডিয়া তোমার।
তো আমি ঠুমরি গাওয়ার সময় আমার ভয়েস প্রোডাকশনটা আলাদা হতেই হয়, না হবে না,
ওই মডিউলেশনটা
একটু ন্যাকামি চাই ঠুমরিতে।
দিদি একটা প্রশ্ন আমার আছে, সেটা হলো I like to ask one more question because I think we should hear more music now. Is that because Agra Gharana has got a very masculine and very distinctive sort of characteristics in between, as I say, as Kichlu uncle was talking about, transition between Drupad and KL, in between link. Do you think certain ragas only suit sort of Agra Gharana rather than all the ragas? Is there a particular, say, particular pattern of ragas which will suit more with the Agra Gharanas? And if that is correct, then what are those ragas, please?
In every Gharana, there are some ragas which are sung most. In every Gharana, there is a very, very strong ছাপমারা রাগ আছে। যেমন আগ্রা ঘরানায় বারোয়া গাইলাম আমি, জয় জয়ন্তী, ঝিঞ্ঝটি, গারা, বলো আরো কত, নট বিহাগ, বিহাগ, ইভেন বিহাগ, নট বিহাগ, তারপরে তোমার কামত, কেদার, ছায়ানট, হামিদ, জौनपुरी, রামকলি, सबेर का राग, रामकली, जौनपुरी, ललित, तोड़ी, আরে কি বলবো আর।
শুভ্রাদি আমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইউ মেনশনড অ্যাবাউট নাট বিহাগ, আমি ওপর থেকে আস্তে আস্তে ভাবছিলাম আমি তোমাকে এটা রিকোয়েস্ট করব যদি একটু নাট বিহাগের ওই ঝনঝন ঝনঝন বাজে, মল্লিকার্জুন মনসুর সাহেবের ওই ফেমাস।
আচ্ছা এইটা করে শেষ করব তো, এইটা করে শেষ করব তো,
তোমার মাইক্রোফোনটা বন্ধ।
ওইটা তুমি করো, শেষ করো কি যাই হোক, ওটা তুমি করো, মানে ওটা
করে দিচ্ছি। झन 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 पायल बाजे, झन 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 पायल बाजे, जागे मोरी सास ननदिया और दौड़निया आर जेठनिया, ये माँ झन 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 पायल बाजे, माँ झन 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 पायलिया बाजे, झन 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 पायलिया बाजे, झन 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 बाजे, पायलिया झन झन बाजे, पायलिया झन 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 पायल बाजे, झन 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 अगर सुने मेरो बगर सुने, जो सुन पावे सदा रहेगी, जागे मोरी सास ननदिया और गौरनिया राजनिया, जन 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 पाए नवा मावा नवा मगा जन 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 बा, जन 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 बा, जय मोरी पायलिया बाजे, माँ जन 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 पाय, जन 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 पाय, जन 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 पाय।
क्या बात। Actually, if you have missed, to our audience, if you have missed the beginning of the show, I have requested Vijay uncle to sing something for us, and he has performed this Jan 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 today. So that was yes Shubhrati, and I did tell uncle that this is such a famous bandish, and I have been listening to him since I have met him, but that was so wonderful to have on my Guruji's birthday, to have Vijay uncle having Shubhradi and Shubhradi student Sangjukta as well. So it's just, honestly, it's like a dream coming true.
And also not only Sangjuktaর ওপাশে যে আছে ওর নাম
হ্যাঁ,
সুশান্ত।
হ্যাঁ,
3S
রাইট।
আচ্ছা শুভ্রাদি, আমাদের সঙ্গে গৌরবদা আছেন। গৌরবদা বলছিলেন তুমি যদি একটু ছোট করেও কিছু বলো ডিটি যোশীজির সম্বন্ধে।
কি বলবো, মানে মানুষটা, তার কথা বলতে গেলে আমার সত্যি মানে I was so attached to him. এমন কোনো দিন যায় না যে ওনাকে মনে পড়ে না। হয়তো করোনার এই সব দিনে যখন কাজের লোক ছিল না, তখন হয়তো সেই সময় তো মনে পড়েনি, বিকজ that was an emergency. I had to work by myself. I didn't have any time. Anyway, so first thing, he ভীষণ loving person ছিলেন. As a person, you খুব কাছে যেতে পারবে।
কোনো অসুবিধা নেই শুভ্রাদি, আমার ঠিক হয়ে যাবে এক্ষুনি।
না ও তো জানে না, আমি তো বারণ করি না, তো আজকে বন্ধ।
ইমতিয়াজ দা, তুমি কিছু বলতে চাও? যতক্ষণ ওই যে
ঠিক হয়ে গেছে শুভ্রাদি, ঠিক হয়ে গেছে। হ্যাঁ শোনা যাচ্ছে, বলো।
শোনা যাচ্ছে?
তোমাদের শুনতে পাচ্ছি না।
আমরা শুনতে পাচ্ছি।
আচ্ছা, আমি একটা কাজ দিয়ে শেষ করছি।
আচ্ছা,
আবার চলে আসবে। হ্যাঁ,
ও এখন শোনা যাচ্ছে। কথা বলছিলাম,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ,
জ্ঞানের গুণের পাহাড়, এরকম নম্রতা, এইরকম ভালোবাসা। এই
শুনতে পাচ্ছি, আমরা শুনতে পাচ্ছি।
সব শুনতে পাচ্ছি। সত্যি আমাদের এই টেকনিক্যাল ডিফিকাল্টিস গুলোর মধ্যে দিয়েই we are having such wonderful sessions. Little bit of technical difficulties, that's okay.
Yeah,
we all can understand.
I think it's quite important to understand the whole environment in SRA when Pandit Kananji and other doyens of Indian classical music were there when, for that matter, Shubhradi and you were growing up. And it was such a fantastic environment. As we were talking with Kichlu uncle earlier, that he actually, his legacy is the creation of this institutionalization of this Guru Shishya Parampara, which is a fantastic achievement of Kichlu uncle. Sorry, Shubhradi, I just carried on with whatever you're talking about, just talking about how fortunate you and Chandradi are in terms of getting sort of closer to those doyens of Indian classical music in a campus.
আর একটা কথা না বললে, সরি, আর একটা কথা না বললে আমার মনটা শান্তি পাচ্ছি না, সেটা হচ্ছে পণ্ডিত কেজি গিন্দে। উনি মহাসাগর ছিলেন। ওনাকে অতটা, যারা তার কাছে যে গেছেন তারা বুঝতে পেরেছেন, বাইরে থেকে কাউকে বোঝা যায় না। তুমি ওনার সঙ্গে 5 মিনিট কথা বললেই বুঝতে পারবে। And they were, they didn't bother about money, they didn't bother about car and house and this and that of, when it জাগতিক জিনিসের, তারা শুধু বিদ্যা। They were only after learning. Anyway, আমি একটা কাজ শেষ করছি। আমার ব্যাটারি শেষ নয়, মোবাইলের ব্যাটারি শেষ হয়ে যাচ্ছে। একটা কাজরি গাইছি বর্ষার সময়।
হ্যাঁ, গাও।
पिया नहीं आए, पिया नहीं आए, नहीं आए, घिर घिर आई कारी बदरिया घिर घिर आई कारी बदरिया पिया नहीं आए पिया नहीं आए मैं का करूं भैया गिर गिर आई गिर गिर आई आगे बदलिया गिर गिर आई कागे बदलिया पिया नहीं आए मैं काक दुखिया गिर गिर आई गिर गिर आई हाय पिया नहीं आए हो पिया नहीं आए मैं का करूं भैया हो का करूं भैया हो का करूं भैया पिया नहीं आए हो का करूं भैया हो का करूं भैया गिर गिर आई कारी बदलिया कारी बदलिया कारी बदलिया पिया नहीं आए मैं का करूं भैया पिया नहीं आए पिया नहीं आए पिया नहीं आए दादर मोर पपीहा बोले दादर मोर दादर मोर पपीहा बोले दादर मोर दादर मोर दादर मोर दादर मोर पपिहा बोले राम दादर मोर पपिहा बोले मुझ बिरहन का मन बोले हाँ मन बोले मुझे बिरहन का मन बोले मुझ बिरहन का घिर घिर आई कारी बदरिया पिया नहीं आगे मैं करूं गुइया घिर घिर आई कारी बदरिया पिया नहीं आया मैं का कर गुइया मैं का कर गुइया मैं का कर गुइया।
Thank you, Subhra Di. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chandra and Imtiaz and Imran.
Imran, our technical director.
Thank you.
Technical director, and someone was there when I.
Songjukta, Dr. Songjukta Ghosh was here with us, but then she had to go to attend an urgent meeting. And we were joined by Siddhartha.
I am thankful to everybody, especially Chandra has remembered me to pay homage to Pandit Kananji, who was Guruji for everybody. Everybody used to call him Guruji. এসারে দরজা আসলে গুরুজির বাড়ি যাব মানে ওখানে অনেক গুরু ছিলেন কিন্তু গুরুজির বাড়ি যাব মানে it is meant for Pandit Kananji. So I am so thankful to you that you have remembered me, and I am so happy to.
শুভ্রাদি এরম করে শুভ্রাদি এরম করে তোমাদের সাথে অ্যাসোসিয়েশন কত বছরের কত মানে কবে মানে 30 বছর কাজে এরম ভাবে মানে এটা এত ভালো লাগছে তোমাকে আবার দেখে।
I am honored. Kalakar is honored that we have had Vijay uncle today. He's 90 years old, but he has spent almost more than an hour with us today, and we have learned so much from him. And then Subhradi. Imtiaz da, tumi kichu bolbe?
No, I mean, as you say, on behalf of Kalakar, although Siddhartha is saying because he knows you personally, but from the organization point of view, we are very grateful to you, Subhradi, for your kind presence here, and it gave us another flavor of the Guru Shishya Parampara and our respect to Pandit Kananji, and it's nice knowing you personally from my point of view, because a few of my friends are your disciples. I never met you, but again, from bottom of our heart, many thanks for joining us here and our gratitude. Thank you.
ভালো থেকো সুব্রাদি, ভালো
আবার
থেকো,
দেখা হবে, সবাই ভালো থেকো, যদি বেঁচে থাকি করোনা না ধরে, না 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 করোনা
একদম কিচ্ছু হবে না,
না না তুমি একদম একদম সুস্থ থাকবে।
ভালো থেকো সুব্রাদি, ভালো থেকো,
ওরাও
থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।
ওরাও একটুখানি হ্যালো বলতে চাইছে, ওরা
অবশ্যই
ওদের সাহায্য ছাড়া তো আজকে করা যেত না এই সেশন, আমি জানি। তো ওরা
হাউ মাচ ডিফারেন্স ইট মেক্স,
অফকোর্স
তবলা যদি মানে তবলা বাদক মেশিন নয়, তবলা বাদক থাকলে গান বাজনার চেহারাটাই চেঞ্জ হয়ে যায়
একদম।
যাই হোক, সবাই ভালো থেকো, আবার দেখা হবে
নিশ্চয়ই সুব্রাদি।
ওকে সুব্রাদি, তুমিও ভালো থেকো।